Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I am an international student from Nigeria, currently based in Cologne, Germany. I'm also an incoming PhD student at the University of Warwick in the UK. So if you're new, this YouTube channel is dedicated to talking about how to get full scholarships, full postgraduate scholarships into top universities around the world. So I currently have 5 scholarships under my belt, and I think I know one or two things about getting these scholarships, and this channel is aimed at sharing my personal experiences, my personal tips on getting postgraduate scholarships. Today we'll be talking about how to move to a different discipline, particularly how to get postgraduate scholarship to a different discipline. Yes guys, the road to our career aspirations is not always a straight path. Some of us have to go through some bends, twists and turns in order to get there. For instance, my undergraduate degree was in philosophy, but now I'm aiming to get a PhD in politics. So several things happen in our lives and some of us have to take a different path. So the question we are dealing with today is how to get a postgraduate scholarship, either a master's scholarship or a PhD scholarship in a career field different from that of our undergraduate. So for instance, you are in medical sciences, you want to move to economics. You're in economics, you want to move to archaeology or something. So how do you move? One thing you have to notice that it's often easier if you are a self-funded student. So if a self-funded student wants to switch fields, it's a bit easier than for an applicant looking for a scholarship, because most universities are looking for students. They're looking for fees from both international and local students. So they need your money, and if you tell them, oh, though I studied this course from undergrad, I would like to move to this course, they might consider and say, okay, let's try him, after all he's paying for it. But if you are applying for a scholarship, then there's a higher hurdle to climb. For instance, there is a scholarship in international development. There are hundreds of applications. Different applications coming from related fields like political science, international relations, economics, and fields like that. And you're bringing a certificate from philosophy. Imagine you're part of the selection committee. Will you choose a discipline far away from the particular course being applied for? Or will you choose a discipline closely related to the course applied for? Yeah, I think your guess is as good as mine. It's as simple as choosing those who you think already have the background knowledge about that course. So if you are applying as an outsider, it's a bit more challenging than for those applying for a scholarship as insiders, so to say. So I'm going to tell you how to circumvent this hurdle and what to do to get a postgraduate scholarship in a different field, drawing from our own personal experiences. So before I continue, if you are new to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button if you're interested in content on postgraduate scholarship, studying abroad, and things like that. I've posted several videos already in this channel. It's a new channel, but with several tips already, so kindly subscribe for more tips. And also check out my previous videos on how to write a personal statement, on where to find hidden scholarships, on why I needed 2 master's degrees. There are several videos I've already posted here. So if you haven't checked them out already, please do so after this video. So kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified when I post videos. I think the subscribe button is either here or here. So it won't take you up to a second to do that. So thank you very much while you do so. So let's begin. How do you get a postgraduate scholarship in a field different from your undergrad degree? I think the first thing is that you should not neglect what you actually studied in your undergraduate program. Instead, look for a relationship, no matter how slim it is. Look for a relationship between your undergraduate degree and the postgraduate degree you're trying to apply for. For instance, I had my undergraduate degree in philosophy. I was looking for a postgraduate degree in international development, in African development, and also I was looking for a postgraduate degree in good governance, public administration. So I was able to use my degree in philosophy to actually get 2 international scholarships in different fields, or in fields different from my initial field. So how did I do this? I was able to show elements of philosophy or things I learned in philosophy that would help me undertake postgraduate studies in my new field. For instance, I mentioned social contract theories. Social contract theories I learned in social political philosophy. I mentioned how they are useful to analyzing issues of good governance, of democracy, of development, of governmental accountability. So I was able to draw a line of similarity, or a line of connection, if you like, between my undergraduate degree and my postgraduate degree. Another way to move is to show knowledge in the new field you intend to apply to. For instance, you must have done your preliminary readings, done your investigations about the new field. What are the leading scholars? What are the leading arguments? So you're not just moving blind into a new field, but at least you have candlelight, for instance. You've done at least a little bit of background reading. So you're able to convince those selecting applicants and selecting scholarship recipients that even though you're coming from a different field, you have background knowledge of this field and you will excel in spite of the fact that you are an outsider, so to say. So do your background research, do your background readings, and demonstrate that, especially in your personal statement. First of all, show the connection between your undergraduate degree and the new degree you're applying for. Second of all, show knowledge in this new field you're applying for. The third tip I'll be advising this today in this video is to look for work opportunities or volunteer experiences in this new field. That is a very interesting way of getting into a field you're not very confident in. Make a volunteer, take up a volunteer position there, or take up a job, even if it's a low-paying job. Take up it, and so you can learn the elements, the basics, and the foundations of this field. For instance, I also wrote in my personal statement how I worked as a news writer and as a news editor. So I use this as an introduction into the world of politics, into the world of global affairs. So I'm not entirely a newbie into the Department of International Development, so to say, because I've already been engaged in one way or the other through my job in the media, in international development issues. We're talking about poverty, about governance, about international cooperation. So even though I do not have the academic, or I did not have the academic backing then, I showed I had a bit of work experience in that field already, in the field of broadcasting of international media. And I showed the relationship between this experience and this degree and I am applying for. So a good way of moving to a different field or to getting postgraduate scholarships in a different field is also getting work experience in that field. The last point I'll try to make on this topic is that you should try to show in your personal statement why you are changing your field of specialization. You should state your motivation for changing. For instance, in my personal statement, by the way, I shared my personal statement in the previous video, so kindly check out my personal statement. I actually shared both my master's personal statement, the one that got me to master's scholarship at the London School of Economics, and the University of Duisburg, Essen. And my PhD statement of purpose, which got me a PhD studentship in the University of London, SOAS, in the University of Warwick, and in the American University, Washington, D.C. So kindly check out those videos. So coming back to motivation, tell the selection committee what made you change the discipline, what captivated you, I don't want to use the word derail, but what redirected you, so to say, to move from one discipline to another. For instance, I mentioned in my personal statement that I had this aspiration of working as a missionary priest in the Catholic Church. So as a student missionary, I worked in several rural communities, and I noticed that most of the people we ministered to were poor people who were cut off from the benefits of the government. So I didn't want to settle for ministering to the poor alone. I wanted to address the root causes of poverty. I wanted to know why the government is not taking enough responsibilities. I wanted to know how to compel government to take responsibilities. So why I enjoyed what I was doing, working with the poor and trying to empower the poor, I wanted to move further into active advocacy, active pursuit of government accountability, of how the populace can hold the government accountable, and how to compel the government into progressive developmental policies. So I think a movement from my missionary outlook to a more social-political oriented outlook was necessary for me. And I thought I needed a degree in that aspect, in activism, in development, in politics, and in allied fields. So this was like a summary of what I wrote in my personal statement. So you can also tell the story of what changed your perspective, what changed your mind, what was that event, what was that book you read, what was that person you met, or who was that person you met, what changed your mind and what compelled you to say, I think I prefer to be in that place than actually in this place. And yeah, that could be it. And try to be convincing and tie all these points together. Remember all these points I've mentioned. The first one is show a link between what you were doing before and what you intend to do in the future of the new degree. Do your background readings, know the key arguments, know the leading figures. Try to get work experience in this new field, no matter how little it is, something to give you exposure. Then try to show your motivation, what motivated you to uptake a new academic discipline or a new academic interest. And with this, all of that things being equal, I think you could package a compelling argument for changing field, an argument that will convince selectors that you actually deserve a scholarship. So it is not impossible. I'm a living witness to this. I've gotten 2 international master's scholarship with a degree from philosophy. Usually they say apply with a related degree, and I don't think most selectors think of philosophy as a related degree for international development. They will tell you things like political science, international relations, and development economics, human geography, and things like that. But yeah, I am bringing a certificate from philosophy and arguing that I also deserve to be here. And at the end of the day, I actually got in, not just once but twice. So it is not impossible, guys. If you're in a similar situation, just follow some of these tips or all of these tips I mentioned, and I think you'll be fine. So this is the end of my video. Kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell to get alerted when I post a new video. And yeah, leave me a comment, click on the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. Auf Wiedersehen.